about Taming the Beast. I get this question a lot on how to tame down either a baby or an adult Tegu that people get. So let's see, where do I start? This is Murphy. Fortunately, when I got him, he was already pretty much tame. But when I got Midgar, he was quite on the wild side. He was pretty cage aggressive and stuff like that. So we'll start with when they're babies. If you get a hatchling Tegu, first and foremost that you really want to do is you pretty much just want to put them in their tank and just kind of leave them alone for the first week. You don't really want to pick them up, mess with them, because they're kind of more or less in a transition stage where they're kind of stressed out and they're trying to get used to their new home. What you can do is you can take a t-shirt that you've worn and put it in their tank with them. You want to make sure that that shirt is like odor free from like any perfumes or deodorants, so that way it's just more like your scent. And either put that say like near their hide area or like their basking area, so that way when the Tegu is out roaming around, he can sit there and sniff your shirt, so he kind of knows your scent. By doing this is so that they can get used to you and they can start to trust you. Another thing that I like to do is you can take a hoodie, a zipped up hoodie like this, pull it all the way up, and take a belt, cinch it around your waist, and then you want to make sure that you've got a long sleeve shirt under your hoodie, and then just unzip it and place your little Tegu in your shirt or under your hoodie and close it up. And so that way with the belt, he can't slip out from underneath you, and you can walk around with him around your house or sit on the couch and let him roam around around on you. Every once in a while you can kind of reach in, maybe give him a little rub, and that kind of helps him get to know your scent and let him know that you're not exactly a harm to him. One big thing that a lot of people that I've noticed that are doing are they're pulling out their Tegus out of their hides. Now, with a new Tegu, they're going to hide a lot because they don't feel safe yet. Don't take them out of their hide. That is their safe place. If you keep doing that and you're still wondering why your Tegu is being snippy to you or is running away from your hand, that's why. So don't take them out of their hide. Let's see. You can, if you've got a good sized bathtub or like a good sized area in your bathroom, you can sit in your bathtub with your Tegu and kind of let him roam around with you. I kind of like to do the ignore technique. What I'll do is I'll take them into the bathroom, especially if they're an older Tegu, and I'll just sit on the bathroom floor and take a book in there and let them roam around. Tegus are very curious, and so they will come up to you and want to know pretty much who you are. So, don't give them much attention. Just kind of, sit down, read a book, and let them come up to you. If he crawls up under your leg or something, kind of, reach down without, looking down and giving much notice or startle. And, just kind of pet him for a few minutes. With an aggressive Tegu, okay, this can be a little bit more difficult. You can do the shirt trick in the tank with them. A lot of the times I get people say that every time they come near their tank, their Tegu will rush at them at the door. So this is going to take a lot of time and a lot of patience. What I did with Midgar, okay, this really, how I did it really helped me. He was really cage aggressive, and he wasn't really used to being handled. So when I got him home, I put him in his tank, and I left him alone for a week. You know, no, during that week, they're really not going to eat much. Don't worry about that. It's okay. It's pretty normal. So what I did was, you know, if I wanted to feed him, I put like a piece of tile or a piece of newspaper down in their tank and left their food in there, so that if they came out of their hide, you know, they felt the need to eat, that they would. Just make sure that you take it out before you turn their lights off. So with him, what I did was I would sit next to his enclosure with the door open just a little bit at first, because if I opened it up all the way, he would charge at me, which is very, you know, very common, because some of the older Tegus, if they came from a really bad household, you know, that didn't get the attention that they need, this is, you know, is what happens. So I would just sit near the tank, and I would just, you know, talk to him real nicely, real easily. You know, let him know that my presence was not a harm. I did take a shirt and put it in with him. I actually did 2 shirts. I put one near his hide area and one in his basking area. You know, and then I would kind of change those out every other day, so that way my smell was still there. And then eventually, after a few days, what I would do is, when I noticed that he was in his hide, I would kind of open the door a little bit more, and then I would reach in with my hand slowly. You know, you don't want to startle your Tegu, so you always want to move real slow. And I just kind of, you know, I reached in, just kind of, you know, moved around his bedding a little bit, kind of, you know, just played with his bedding, and he would, you know, peek out and notice that I was, you know, kind of in his space. And a couple times, you know, he would come out and kind of charge at me. But don't let your Tegu know that you're afraid of his mouth, because they're very smart. So you wanna make sure that you pretty much let them know, hey, I'm boss around here, and I'm not afraid of your mouth. So I would sit next to his tank. I would reach in, mess around with his bedding, and then after a while, when he would be basking and I would be messing around with his bedding, I put my hand out like this and just kind of left it down, you know, on his thing, and he would come up, you know, and smell my hand with his tongue. And it took some time, guys. It does. It takes a lot of time to tame down an adult aggressive Tegu. But if you got the time and you're dead set on it, you can do it. And eventually, it got to the point where I could rub his head, and, you know, that takes some time too. I could sit there and give him loves. You know, I could rub him like this and everything. And then eventually, after a while, he started coming out on his own, out of his tank. He wanted to explore more. So I had an area next to his tank that you know, that he roamed around, and that's pretty much what I did. I just did the ignore it attempt. You know, I would ignore him, let him come to you. Don't push it, because or else, you know, they won't end up trusting you. And eventually, after a while, with the, you know, the shirts and the hoodie, you know, once they get to a certain size, you can't exactly, you know, put them in your hoodie, but, you know, the smaller ones can. The smaller ones are going to be a lot more jumpy and stuff like that. Tegus do not like to be raised up in the air real high, so they like to be down low. So when you're first attempting to pick them up in their tank first, and support them, and just kind of pick them up for a few minutes, you know, and then put them down, and then just kind of do that a couple times, and let them know that when you do pick them up, that you're not going to harm them. And then once, you know, once that they're at a certain size and you're able to pick them up, I usually like to bring them up to my shoulder like this, so that way that they feel safe. Another way I like to hold them is the cradle effect. I call it the cradle effect. You know, I like to hold them like babies, like this. You know, they're Murphy right now is not being a good example, but with Midgar, he likes the cradle effect, and he likes to be up on my shoulder. Babies are a little bit different. You can let them up onto your shoulder, but you got to be really careful if you're standing up because they are jumpy, and if they fall, they can hurt themselves. So when you're handling your babies, you know, make sure that you've got them, you got them cuffed pretty good, but not too tight. And just be real patient. It takes time. You know, it takes longer than a week. Sometimes Tegus are real stubborn, and it can take a lot of time. With Midgar, it took me a couple months to get him to trust me, but I was determined, and it all worked out at the end because now he's dog tame. They seek out attention, and they love to, crawl up under your lap and lay down and sleep, and they're big babies. So take the time. If you guys have any questions more about some taming techniques that I didn't cover, leave a question down below, and I'd be happy to help answer any questions that you have. The t-shirt works, the hoodie works for smaller Tegus, and the ignoring technique works too. Let them come to you a lot of the time. A lot of the big breeders out there do the same type of techniques. If you found a different technique for helping tame your Tegu that I didn't mention, leave a comment down below, and I'd be great to hear it. I'd love to hear different people's opinions on, what they think and stuff. It's great getting your first Tegu. I know a lot of people are scared, and they have a lot of questions, and I was too when I first got mine. And you learn after a while some of the different techniques that you find yourself that work too. So I'd love to hear some more. So I hope you enjoyed our little video, and have a great day. Bye.